Actor turned entrepreneur Vivek Oberoi is betting that diamonds no longer need to sit quietly in lockers. His lab-grown jewellery brand Solitario has partnered with Warner Brothers Discovery to launch IP-led collections inspired by Tom and Jerry and the DC universe.
Let's do it!
The collaboration tests whether licensed IP can turn diamonds from heirlooms into impulse buys and whether cultural relevance, not just price, can drive the next phase of growth. I'm sure you must be very delighted to be a brand ambassador for Solitario till 2029, am I correct?
In the last 3 years, what Ricky and Vicky have been able to put together is nothing short of a miracle. 150 stores, 155 I think they mentioned, and that's not a small feat, right?
Solitario actually went ahead and announced a partnership with Warner Brothers, and they are debuting two of the IP-led collections, Tom and Jerry and the DC Comics, right? Do you think these kind of IP-led associations can actually help a category like lab-grown diamonds to really proliferate and become something that a common man or a common woman would really like to wear on their person?
It's given that the youth love superheroes, whether it be girls, whether it be boys. And since our country is 75% youth, I think that we have a lot of young people who are open to exploring, open to trying out new things, and that's where the association of working with Tom and Jerry or working with Warner Brothers for DC Comics, it just gives a huge variety of products for people to choose from, and it looks great. I think that it's a talking point as well for many of the people. It's something unique. It's not just a diamond.
So why Tom and Jerry and why these two?
Warner Brothers Discovery, the kind of legacy that they've had with the superheroes, characters because of DC Comics that we grew up with, right? Reading Superman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern. I think the reach has been exponential and it has been something that's been generational. Our ethos of the idea of superheroes and tying up with superheroes beyond just smart decision making for Solitario, our company, to be able to tie up with such a giant, such a legend in the space, such a legendary brand, was also because when I had the vision along with Ricky to set up Solitario, we always had the vision to create something that would make a better world. In all my businesses, Vinita, I always say profit is for a quarter, purpose is for life. And when something is purpose driven, it grows better, lasts longer, people stay more motivated because you have a certain purpose to follow. You're not just on a treadmill of performance of quarters, right? Quarter after quarter. So what do superheroes do? Superheroes remove darkness, they bring light, they bring justice, they bring equality. And Solitario in its own way is the superhero of the world of diamonds. They're not exceptionally expensive. So they're really smart gifting items. So with our 155 stores worldwide, and with us venturing into the online space and collaborative space, I think this will be something that's a solid success story for us.
So does this also mean that Solitario is now making a play for the younger generation who are more amenable for lab-grown diamonds vis-a-vis the older generation? Because the older generation still prefer to get into gold or the natural diamonds. So with characters like these and IP-driven brands, are you looking at tapping the millennials and the Gen Zs?
While I respect what you say about gold, but natural diamonds, I don't see anybody going for them anymore. Like the kind of crash in terms of sales, the kind of crash in terms of value has just determined the fact that people feel that if the DNA is the same, it's like saying you had a natural delivery or you had a test tube baby. I don't see Solitario purely as a lab-grown diamond jewelry company. I see Solitario expand into an umbrella of lifestyle, luxury with an ethical standard.
when you talk about the smart collaborative partnership, do you mean that they will be the next rungs in luxury products? So, extending from diamonds probably into something else, maybe, fragrances, clothing, something like
You'll
those?
be surprised at how many things our lab-grown gems can be integrated into, and the things that we're working on and testing in our labs and our design studios in India, in Barcelona. We're constantly experimenting to see, can we make this work in this way, can we make this work, and we're exploring collaborations with a huge number of like mega brands, right? So I think we'll have another announcement, say end of this quarter or the second quarter of this year.
This is the first IP-led collaboration that you've gone into.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there'll be certain data matrix that you would also be tracking to identify which are the brands and the partners that you want to onboard or collaborate with. What are those metrics that you'll keep front and center?
I always look at strategic partnerships, right? So if I'm looking at opening out a TG, what kind of resonance with that TG can I get without having to spend that much CAC, right? My cost of customer acquisition, can I reduce it by piggybacking and creating a strategic partnership? Or is this a brand that is legacy brand, fuddy-duddy, but has great distribution? How can you help them monetize a segment that's latent for them or they haven't envisioned yet? How can you take that, pitch it, and then expand on that? So that's what I like to do with brands.
Now, one has seen in recent times that one looks at online and not just e-commerce in the B2B2C omnichannel journey. Quick commerce is beginning to play a very significant role.
True.
Especially when it comes to lab-grown diamonds, which are largely an impulse buy at times. And during the festival season and all, because you mentioned about gifting, right? Given the ticket size that is there, it lends itself very naturally to these channels. However, at the same time, the media spends for these channels have to be very strategically thought out.
Correct.
So how is it that you will go through this entire journey?
Two-pronged answer to your question, and I think I must say, Vinita, you're extremely perceptive, unless you're reading my mind. But yes, there's something in the works which we'll be announcing soon, which is pretty much on the lines of what you're talking about. But as a code of ethics, we are not going to be that company on a burn treadmill, right? We're very strict with our fundamentals. So it's a profitable company, it stays a profitable company. We believe in smarter ways of creating brand resonance and building relationships where there is a demand. Today also, Solitario may not be the cheapest alternative. You may be getting more inferior quality stuff, cheaper sourced, badly made. We're here for the long run. If you bring a Solitario product to us back 20 years from now also, it should be like, nah, that was a good quality product. It's lasted 20 years.
When one looks at brand resonance, especially in this particular category, there is also another thing, which is education of the consumers. You mentioned about also the fact that, there will be other alternatives that is there. And marketing plays a very key role in there. So how exactly is Solitario going to spread its entire marketing outlay? Is it going to be digital first? Is it going to be OH first? Is it going to be through celebrities? What is the kind of channels of choice?
Great question. We had two bridges to cross. The first bridge was educating on the category itself because we were an early mover. That took some time. We leveraged my association with it. I became the voice. We had some great, unexpected upswings with Modi ji gifting Jill Biden a lab-grown diamond, made in India. Second aspect is convincing why Solitaire. And we see that, like wherever you have our stores, you have competition. As soon as they come in, they will come try to do something similar to us. They will try and undercut us. But eventually, after the first quarter of that competition, we've seen people coming back to our store. Customer experience, the quality of product, the design. Just eventually, the idea is to create a instant recall as Solitario to be the brand that epitomizes ethical luxury.
Given your lineage, how exactly are you going to come up with more such in-film or OTT first integrations? Because then again, it lends very naturally to educating and increasing the awareness of the kind of TG that you're trying to reach out to.
So at the end of the day, you have 3 steps, right? So the first step is going to be awareness, just to make people aware that there's something called Solitario and this is what we sell.
Correct.
The second step is to get them to come and sample, come into a store or go online and see. The third step is conversion.
Absolutely.
That's when your cost of customer acquisition is complete.
Fantastic. And when are you finally going public? The $1 million question, right?
I think, no, it should be a lot more millions than that. Tens of millions. But look, the idea was that there's a potential for this company in a very short window of time to hit anywhere between $80 to $100 million in valuation. That's what we're looking at as far as the forecast that I'm seeing. A few very big shifts that are taking place right now will determine the exact time when we file for DRHP.
Okay.
And whether we decide to say, okay, let's raise the capital and then grow together, or let's grow more, then raise larger capital, and then grow more.
So you have a better take on the valuation.
Yeah.
One point in time, diamonds were something which were aspirational. But with lab-grown diamonds, now it is something that has become a lot more accessible, right?
Yes.
And you're talking also about the cultural resonance and the cultural relevance that these particular products can give. How are you going to help with your personality and with your persona and as a brand ambassador of Solitario?
I think it's a little bit about boldness. I think you have to be willing to, like my brother would never wear any kind of jewelry. He's that kind of a person, right? But there are other people who want to explore that. Someone like me, if I can help push people to try out new stuff, especially jewelry, which is something very unique to the men's world right now. I think it's a great possibility for a lot more such brands to get associated with Solitario, and I guess a lot of events happen. A lot of I'm also getting associated with a really something to do with the world of cartoons at the moment, and I believe that that's where these kind of things will really come in handy, because once I start that mixed with this, everything just kind of comes together.